When rent rates are going up, it's because there's a shortage of rentals. And people can get homes right now, like they can get financing, unlike the crash. And then what I see is there's no end to the shortage of housing to buy in sight, because the forces that cause it have nothing to do with rates being high or if we have a recession. It has nothing to do with that at all. It's just, it's different. It's demographic, it's COVID, it's people with 2% rates not wanting to get rid of them, right? All that stuff, which isn't going to change anytime soon. So it seems to me the reason that homes are sitting may be that there's a slight pause in that demand, but not an end to the shortage. And I'll say this another way. If you look at the employment that we have in the US right now, it's like the strongest employment in 40 years or something. Like that's not what occurs before a crash, right? Not even close. So it's just, it's good. It's amazing to have.
Yeah. And
go ahead. No, I was going to say, it's amazing. It's amazing to have that kind of scenario where there's a shortage and you can get a better price. I haven't seen that, like maybe ever, if I think about it. That's what we got now. We got a shortage and you can get a better price. That's freaking awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny whenever we're about to put in an offer for a client right now, by default, because you're working across the country, you're like, all right, it's listed at $425. What do we like? What do we need to offer to get it? I was like, oh, we're offering $415 and getting some closing costs.
Looking good, man. Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's funny, but it's true.
Yeah. And you know, we're lucky. We got this guy, Edsel Charles, that I've told you about briefly. So he's been in Nashville since the 80s, and his business is he goes to every single plot, every single permit pool, and has someone physically appraise every single plot and lot in Middle Tennessee. And he's been doing it since the 80s. And big builders, they pay him a lot of money he tells them where to build. Yeah. And it's hard to be able to come see him, of course. But one of my friends had a ticket, so I got to go see him speak about 2 months ago. And one of the interesting things, I think it was like 91, he said, no, not 91, like 2001, somewhere around there. He said, in 2007, we're going to hit the top of the market and it's going to start going down. He was a month off by looking at the data and supply and demand. And he was like, we're like tens of thousands of homes short in Nashville without anything changing. Like up until I think 2035, it's something crazy like that. It's like people are moving to Nashville, and as many new construction as we have,
that's
it's
amazing.
Still not keeping up with
that. To me is confirmation of what I've been seeing around the country. Is like the shortage isn't going away anytime soon. Like 2035, it's even like in my mind, I've been thinking, we got 10 years of this anyway. But he's saying even more, and that's a really great piece of data for the Nashville market to know that. Yeah. So. I don't know if one can get a lower price in a shortage. I don't know what gets much better.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool place to be. And it's really unique to Nashville.
There's some markets, say more rural or tertiary markets, where I would say it's similar, but not like the big vibrant metros. Nashville's such a growth market, so vibrant. Most of those markets are still cooking. So I think Nashville is looking good right now, for sure.
Right. It makes me think of our client, Alex. Now he's buying his first investment home. It makes me think of Alethea. She actually rented her current home and bought a new home. So that way both of them have kept their current rates that are locked in on their previous loan and utilizing this market, which is kind of a cool way.
That's a great anecdote. It makes me want to just break that out a little bit, just so everyone gets the significance of what I just heard you say. So the client who kept her home and bought a new one, this is a person who, not this client, but I'm talking to the avatar of a person who's in a home right now, which isn't optimal for them. If things were perfect, they would move, but they're sitting there saying, I don't want to lose my 2% rate, right? Stay here. And I think one thing that's really true for this scenario right now is because rental rates have gone up, it's really possible to keep an existing home as a rental and get good cash flow from it, especially if it has a low rate, right? That's amazing. You're sitting there with a 2 or 3% fixed rate, and the way rental rates have gone up, like that's a financial opportunity right now. And I think where a lot of people get lost or don't know what's possible is they think, yeah, but I don't have the down payment on the next house. And then what we've seen is it's possible to release all of the equity from those homes with things like a line of credit or other instruments where people can go purchase the next home. And also you don't need a big down payment on if you're moving like that client did. So I think right now the opportunities for people who own homes that want to move are spectacular. It's so good because of the rental rate being so high and the ability to get equity. Right. And then I love what I heard you say about the other client who bought an investment property. That's a little different, but it cash flows right now. Put it this way, man, there's a lot of people in Cali that if you told them they could buy an investment property right now that cash flow, they wouldn't believe you. You know what I'm saying? And it's true, but we're seeing that. And these are good properties too. We're not talking about like slumlording, you know what I mean? We're talking about Class A, Class B tenant pool, right? That's awesome.
Right. Yeah, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom in Mount Juliet, zoned for the new Green Hill High School. Yeah, these are nice houses that people want to rent, want to move in.
Yeah.
Who else are you seeing this is a good market for?
I love this market for first-time buyers because rent's not going down. Anybody paying rent right now is not, if anything, it's going to go up, could go up a lot for some people with a shortage the way it is. And that, like what I heard you say, like you're getting offers with closing costs paid. That's awesome for a first-time buyer. That means that a first-time buyer right now doesn't need that much cash. If they've got 3 or 4% of the purchase price somewhere, like the rest of it can be rolled in. And let me say it this way, that buyer, like that, the person in that kind of zone hasn't really had a seat at the table for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, right? Like it's been a while since there's been a seat at the table for those people. And I don't know, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The clients that we've had some really good systems to find them homes. For those folks, we were saying, hey, most homes we literally couldn't get. Out of 30 homes that came on the market, we could only possibly look at one of them with a chance. We had to look for the diamond in the rough where we could get that. Whereas now I was just looking, right now we've got 9 homes in Mount Juliet that are 4 bedrooms that are under $500,000. And that's as low as $390, 4-bedroom for $390. And, we could look at all those and we could probably get closing costs.
That's huge for first-time buyers because first-time buyers, it's the cash that's often the trickier thing. And if you can get closing costs, it makes what the cash required get down to next to nothing for a lot of people. And when the market was competitive offers everywhere, you just couldn't do that. On the other side of that too is like people say the rates are high, but that's going to refi the rate in a year or two when things cool off. But to say it this way, if the rates were 2% lower right now, you wouldn't be getting closing costs buying a house. There'd be 20 people trying to buy it on the price of probably $50,000 higher. So it just seems like there's these like layered benefits. When you put them together, they're creating an exponential, this really rich time. And for the well-informed. Yeah. And then the people who are like watching too much news and they're freaked out by whatever the Fed's saying, they're missing out. Like, it seems to be how it is.
Yeah. And I was just looking we got 9 homes in Mount Juliet, 3 bedrooms that are under $400,000. It's Mount Juliet's a great place to be. We were looking at
Right.
$400 to $450 a year ago
Right.
for homes like this. And if we move a little bit further out of Wilson County or up into Sumner County,
Right.
a lot of those homes qualify for USDA loan if the person qualifies for it, which is zero down. So you can get zero down, closing costs covered, as long as you've got good credit.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool.
I think this market is great for first-time buyers and for the investors. We talked about that, and for people who might have a home they're in that they want to top grade, whatever that looks like for them. But those three seem to be really benefiting right now. Yep.
People that want to move up and they can keep their current rate, rent the house, actually gain wealth and equity. That's what I was so excited about our client Alethea. I remember, at first I was like, hey, what do you think about this? She's not really to sell it. But part of the problem was we were going to have to sell her house less than what it would have been 6 months previously. Like the home value went down. And so when she called me, and because she'd forgotten about that conversation, said, I think I want to rent it instead of sell it. I know that you make money from selling it, but what do you think? And I was so excited because she wants to build wealth. And I was like, man, this is the best way you can build wealth. Like your renters are paying it down. You're not selling it low. You don't get wealthy by buying high and selling low. You get wealthy by buying low and selling high. So now's not a good time to sell, if you got to. We've got a really good team in place to manage the renter for you. And I'm glad I've got my...
Think about this. Somebody who owns a home right now, whatever it's worth, if you basically release the equity and use it to go buy a home where you really suits your needs better, where you really want to be, and you have a tenant there, like you basically just made whatever it's worth in future dollars, right? Paying it off. Can you just go make $500,000 like that? Like how else? It's awesome what that does over time. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you get into all the tax benefits of that. And once you get into all that, it's just unbelievable, the opportunity.
Yeah, real estate is a wealth building vehicle for sure. And then what I hear, like I have this national perspective where I'm saying, okay, it's a great time because of prices being muted and competition being muted. And then what we're seeing is in Nashville, that's like even more extremely so because the shortage isn't going away and terms are really favorable. And like you can, even a first-time buyer with low cash can invest into this shortage and make money on it over time. So I love the market we're in for our clients. I do. I think it's pretty great. Yeah.
Anything else that'd be good to add? I feel like we covered quite a bit of stuff in 20 minutes or so.
It feels complete to me, man. Like I think that's a pretty complete overview of what. Yes, I think that's good. I think we got a good.
The kids are coming down. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Then, of course, you guys can reach out to me. Oh, is one of the kids coming in? Are you going to come say hi, Mac? Say hi to everybody. A lot of people are going to watch this. Oh, yeah.
Super.
Nice. If we'll talk to y'all soon. So we all went up to Philly to visit Paul. Mac went with me. We drove up. And so got to meet Teague, all of us hanging out, had some homemade Philly cheesesteaks.
Gravity tracks for him.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll stop the recording now. See y'all soon.